Okay, so the last little vignette I wanted to remind you of was how to upload announcements and assignments. Google's actually changed their interface a little bit, and they've added this new plus button down at the bottom. If you click on this plus button, you're going to notice some new features. The first thing is reuse a post. And what I was talking about earlier in my first video was saving archived classes. So what you can actually do if you click on reuse post, you can navigate back through old classes that you have, and maybe there's a post or a video that you used from a class that you had 2 trimesters ago. You simply click on the class, select, and it will take you back to that navigation. Now, this is a new class, so I don't have any new posts. I want to be careful due to, once again, this is public, but I can click reuse and then it will post that into my stream. So it's a new feature that allows you to not have to recreate an announcement or a video. You can simply reuse it. And it might be helpful, especially if you use a video over and over again, or an announcement, or even an assignment. Google's also added a new feature to the Plus, which is creating a question. This allows you to create a discussion question post where students have the opportunity to comment. Google will actually take you through the process for how to do it. You can actually see who hasn't answered the question. Like it says, you can view and grade all your students' answers in one place, decide if students can review and reply to others' answers. So it gives you a cool way to create almost like a discussion blog. If it's an article that you're posting, a video, and part of it is the students are required to actually develop a discussion. What I like about this is it talks to students about how to professionally post. I actually develop comment expectations that they agree to as part of their expectation sheet. And then this reminds them of what they need to do. And you can actually do it for multiple classes. So if I created a question and I have 2 of the same section, I can check both of these boxes and then I can ask the question. It might be related to a Word document. Maybe it's a Google Doc. It can be a video or, once again, a web link. And then you can change the due date according to when it's due. I don't usually ever do the time, but if it's due by midnight and you want it to select the time, go for it. And you can actually put the title of the question and then describe whatever it is you're going to ask, and then click ask. So Google actually created this new feature as a way to add a discussion component to Google Classroom. So that's just something new. Once again, down in the Plus, so we've talked about the 2 new features. The 2 old features that you have known from before are here. They're just now in a new place. The 3rd feature is how to create an assignment. And in this case, you're going to title the assignment, whatever it's called. It could be maybe history, essay, outline. And then you'll put the description. I usually put the directions. You can, maybe the reminder of something that they need to make sure that they do. Reminder, you need to have 4 facts to support your thesis. Just something as like a quick little blurb to remind them what they're going to do. And that's what they're going to see in their stream. And then once again, you can add an assignment in 4 ways. You can add from Word. If you add from Word, the students in no way can edit it. It will come up as a PDF that they will then need to print off. The way to get students to be able to directly type in it is you actually add it from Drive. And so you would go in and you would select, whatever the applicable assignment is. I selected the wrong one. I apologize. So if I go to my social studies classes and I click on Western Society and I go in my folder, I can add, this document, add. And then in this case, now that I've added the document, Google's giving me a couple options. You really want to make sure you do this every time. If it's a view-only document, students can view it and simply read it. But if it's a document that you expect them to type into directly, you're going to want to make a copy for each student. And what this does is it will create a copy for them and it will put their name into the title of it. And then when they turn it in to you, that will give it back to you and it will have their last name. If it's a copy that you want all students to access at the same time, that's what the second option is. But if you select this, that means that all students will be working from the same document, and then it turns into chaos. So you make a copy for each student, and then you would select the applicable classes that it applies to. So once again, if you have multiple classes doing this assignment, you select all the ones that apply, and then you would simply click Assign. Now, if you are not ready to assign it, Google actually has another new feature. You can save the draft. So maybe this isn't something you're ready to put out into public yet, but you just want to create it so you don't have to worry about it later. Maybe it's Friday and you want it for Monday. So you would click Save Draft, and it saves it for you. And then whenever you're ready, you can go back and actually then add it to your class at the appropriate time. But you don't have to type anything in because it's all done for you. You're going to notice it does take a second to save. And then once that's done, you'll have the ability, like I said, to go back and add it in at the appropriate time. If you weren't saving it, you would simply click Assign, and then it would immediately show up in the public stream so that all students could see it. The saving is taking a second. I don't know why it's taking so long. I apologize. So there was an error, but don't worry about that. So it would save the draft, and then, or you could do the assign. So just be aware of that. And those are some cool features of how to do the assignment. All right. So that's an assignment. Now, remember, from the assignment component, when students start to turn assignments in, I'll show you an example from an old class that I have of what it looks like. So I go over to my archived classes, and I will show you. So this was an assignment that I had. It was a test assignment. And when I add the assignment to my class, it's going to show me the number of students that haven't done the assignment yet. As students start to turn the assignment in, the number of not done will change to done. And I can actually click on the 13 that are not done, and it will show me a list of the students that haven't yet completed it. When you go into the ones that are done, you actually have the capacity to type into comments. You can go into the document and offer feedback and then return it to the student. The student can then go back and fix it. It's a pretty cool feature. But what you also now have the capacity to do is you can click on the document of students that are not done, and you can comment directly in their document to remind them to finish up and that they need to turn it in. I can't go into the students right now for confidentiality reasons, but I just wanted to remind you of that feature, that when you set up the assignments, how it's going to look. The reason that my assignment didn't work in my test class is because I don't have any students in the class yet. All right. So that's the feature of how to set up an assignment. That's a lot to take in. So please, if you have any questions, feel free to come talk to me. The last feature I want to talk about is just an announcement. This can simply be, maybe it's a homework assignment, a video you want them to watch. It could remind them to turn in their expectation sheet. It can remind them that if they have to do something that is out, maybe watching a video, they have to do something external for your class, whatever it may be, simply just put the announcement in and then add whatever features you need to add. If there's no features, then simply just put the announcement. And then once again, you can check the classes that it is applicable to. Once again, though, Google has added a feature that if you click on this little triangle, you can save the draft and you can upload the announcement later. I'm hoping this time it'll work. So what you're going to notice is it says that I have 2 drafts up here. Students can't see this. This is simply for my view. When I'm ready for an announcement to go public, I click on the announcement and I would simply click post. That way I can get stuff done ahead of time and I don't have to worry about having to come back later. So it's going to say post announcement. I'm going to click post and then it's going to post it. You're going to notice the assignment that I made earlier. It's asking if I want to assign it, and I'm going to click yes. And the reason I'm doing this is I want to show you another new feature. So in the past, once you put something in the stream, it would push something else down. But Google's actually created a new feature. So if you click on the announcement, you can actually move it to the top. So if it's something that got pushed down, but you really want to keep it at the top, you can now click these 3 little dots and you still have your edit and delete features, which allows you to fix anything you have problems with, but you now also have this new option, which is move it to the top. So if it's an announcement that you really want the students, or an assignment you really want the students to see first, then make sure it's at the top. And that is a cool new feature that Google's added to try to keep this, now allowing you to move stuff around in the stream. The last thing I want to talk about is over here. So what it tells students will see this. It actually reminds them of upcoming assignments, due Monday, and then they can directly click on the assignment and it will actually take them there. Now, once again, I don't have any students in this class, so that wouldn't work for me. But the other feature I wanted to show you is back in the home screen. When students log into their home screen and they have all their different classes, for my class, it's showing what assignment is due so that students can actually access the assignment directly from the home screen. They don't even need to go to the stream if it's just a document. So that's a pretty cool feature. And it will actually take them to, whatever the assignment is, and then they can do it accordingly. All right. So I just wanted to give you a quick update about that. This one was a little longer, but it is a little more involved. Please see me if you have any questions. Enjoy the start of your school year.